my confident and generous Leo friend. Hello and welcome. My name is Mina, and I'm here to offer you a 3-card reading exploring the themes of you, your path, and your potential. I invite you to consider what the reading reveals about possible challenges, opportunities, and personal growth for the week ahead. Take a deep breath, rest your mind, and let's see what the cards have to share with you today. Leo, there's a quiet restlessness threading through your days right now. You might not talk about it, but you can feel it, a subtle sense of being hemmed in, as if the world has pressed in just a little closer than you'd like. This isn't about loud frustration or open conflict. It's the kind of tension that lingers in the background, coloring even the brightest moments with a faint unease. You may catch yourself hesitating before saying what you mean or holding back when you'd rather leap ahead. Perhaps you're aware of unspoken expectations, yours or someone else's, that leave you second-guessing your next move. Even in spaces where you're usually bold, there's a pause, a brief holding of breath. Underneath it all, a quiet question persists. What if the limits you sense are more imagined than real? And if so, what's keeping you from moving beyond them? Within this landscape, the 8 of Swords brings an honest reflection of your inner world. You're someone who thrives on self-expression, but lately, it's as though invisible threads have woven themselves around your confidence. These aren't always external circumstances. Often, they are the product of old beliefs, memories, or quiet doubts that have settled in almost unnoticed. You might feel boxed in by routines or weighed down by responsibilities that used to feel manageable. There's a sense of seeing options but not being able to reach for them, as though a wall stands between you and the life you want to inhabit. Sometimes the barriers are subtle, an expectation from family, a lingering disappointment from the past, or even your own high standards that feel impossible to meet right now. You might notice yourself replaying the same thoughts, circling around what isn't working rather than what could change. Even as you move through daily life, your steps may feel tentative, your words more carefully chosen, your laughter just a little restrained. The urge to break free to reclaim your natural radiance is there, but it's tangled up in questions about what might happen if you do. Will you disappoint someone? Will you fall short? The tension isn't just about what's outside. It's the quiet wrestling with your own self-image, your own longing to be seen and understood without compromise. Still, even in this place of uncertainty, there's a flicker of awareness. You sense that these restrictions, however convincing, aren't the whole truth. Beneath the hesitation is a persistent spark, the knowledge that you're capable of more, that you aren't defined by these passing doubts. The discomfort isn't a sign of weakness. It's evidence that your spirit is straining against its boundaries, searching for room to breathe. In the hush between your thoughts, there's a gentle reminder. The story isn't finished, and the limits you feel are not set in stone. Out of this inner tension, a new kind of momentum begins to gather. The more keenly you feel the urge to break free, the more you notice the ways in which life responds. Small opportunities appear, almost as if they've been waiting for you to notice them. A chance conversation, a project that sparks your curiosity, a sudden moment of clarity about what matters most. The pressures you feel inside create ripples in your outer world. Each hesitation invites a choice. Stay within the comfort of old patterns or risk stepping beyond them, even if it's only in a small way. This dynamic between what holds you back and what calls you forward becomes the current of your week. The friction isn't just an obstacle, it's a form of energy. As you lean into the discomfort, you begin to glimpse the possibility that your constraints are also invitations. Every moment you pause, every time you reconsider, you're given a chance to respond differently, not by force or drama, but by quietly exploring what else might be possible. The path forward isn't mapped out, but it's there, waiting for your willingness to try. The magician enters this landscape as a catalyst, a gentle force that stirs your attention and focuses your will. Here, the pressures that once felt limiting transform subtly into sources of potential. The world around you becomes a canvas, not because all obstacles vanish, but because you begin to see where your influence actually lies. Perhaps it's in the way you approach a familiar problem, or in how you choose your words in a tense conversation. There's a sense of movement, of things beginning to shift, not through grand gestures but through small intentional choices. Active pressures arise. Time feels tight, expectations compete, and the urge to prove yourself can be strong. Yet even within this, you notice a new kind of clarity emerging. You catch yourself seeing connections where before there were only loose threads. The friction between what you want and what feels possible sharpens your focus, helping you recognize the tools you already have. Your talents, your instincts, even your doubts, all become part of the raw material you can shape. This doesn't mean the week is without challenge. On the contrary, you may feel the weight of needing to act, to decide, or to create something tangible from what was once only a wish, but the sense of being a passive observer begins to dissolve. You are, in quiet but unmistakable ways, an active participant in your own story. This momentum doesn't erase your vulnerability, it illuminates it. The more you step into the moment, the more you realize that mastery isn't about having all the answers. It's about being willing to engage with uncertainty, to experiment, to trust that your unique presence can shape the outcome. There's a kind of grounded excitement in this, an awareness that even small movements can have meaning. The week becomes less about escaping pressure and more about discovering what you can do with it. In these moments, you begin to reclaim your agency. The world responds not because you force it, but because you show up as yourself, ready to engage. Still, the journey from pressure to possibility isn't automatic. It depends on how you meet the moment, on your willingness to notice the openings that appear and to trust your ability to respond. The sense of potential lingers just ahead, not as a guarantee, but as an open space waiting for your conscious presence. The growth that beckons is not something handed to you, it's something that unfolds as you participate, as you acknowledge both your fears and your strengths. The outcome isn't preordained. It lives in the choices you make, the risks you're willing to take, and the honesty with which you face yourself. The invitation is quiet but persistent. How will you engage with what's unfolding, and what might become possible if you do? Within this evolving landscape, the Ten of Cups offers a glimpse of what could flourish when you meet the week with openness and care. The image is one of deep fulfillment, not as a distant dream, but as a feeling that grows from small moments of connection, authenticity, and acceptance. This isn't about everything being perfect or conflict disappearing overnight. Instead, it's about the subtle ways that joy and belonging emerge when you allow yourself to be seen, not just as the strong, shining Leo, but as a whole person with doubts and hopes intertwined. Growth here feels like an invitation to inhabit your life more fully. When you let go of the need to control every outcome, you create space for genuine connection, to yourself, to others, and to what truly matters. The sense of possibility becomes tangible in laughter shared, in honest conversations, in the quiet satisfaction of having shown up as you are. There's a gentle warmth in this potential, a reminder that vulnerability and happiness are not opposites but companions. As you move through the week, you may notice moments of unexpected ease, a sense of belonging that arises not from perfection, but from your willingness to participate honestly in your own life. The path to fulfillment isn't paved with grand achievements, but with presence, kindness, and the courage to let your heart remain open, even when it feels risky. Looking back over the arc of this week, the story becomes clear. The Eight of Swords spoke first, naming the feeling of being constrained, both by circumstance and by the old stories you carry. It was a place of tension and questioning, where freedom felt out of reach, and the urge to break through was matched by hesitation, yet this very tension became the source of movement, drawing you onto the path illuminated by the magician. Here, pressure transformed into possibility, not through denial or escape, but through mindful engagement. You discovered that the act of showing up, even in small ways, could shift the energy of your days. The world didn't change overnight, but your relationship to it did. From this place, the invitation of the Ten of Cups emerged, not as a promise of perfection, but as the quiet celebration of being present, real, and receptive to joy. There is reassurance in this progression. You are not trapped by your doubts, nor defined by the moments when you feel small. Each card, each moment, weaves together into a gentle reminder. Tension is not the end of the story. It is the beginning of renewal. Through honest recognition, active engagement, and open-hearted participation, you move steadily toward a deeper sense of fulfillment. The week ahead doesn't ask you to be flawless. It simply meets you where you are and invites you to bring all of yourself, hesitant, hopeful, creative, and quietly brave, into each unfolding moment. Actionable insights for Aquarius this week. This week's emotional weather invites gentleness and curiosity with the feelings that arise. You might try listening closely to your own hesitation without rushing to fix it. You could experiment with sharing a small, honest truth with someone you trust. If you notice tension in your body or mind, letting yourself pause for a moment could shift the feeling, even if nothing else changes. Spoken word affirmations to repeat aloud for a more positive mindset. I am here even when doubt lingers. My voice is honest even when quiet. Each step I take makes space for me. I am present and I belong. And now, dear friend, I thank you for giving me your time. I truly hope I have given you something helpful in return. Goodbye and good luck until next time.